I was just wondering, how they're saying that fossil fuels might run out in 50 years' time. Well, why, they're saying that money's like a big problem, make wind turbines and solar panels, but there's like millions of new houses that are being built like all the time. Why don't they just put solar panels on? Because if it means saving the world, then money shouldn't be an issue. Because it could be to do with like helping the world. So, like, would that be an okay question to ask?
Absolutely, yeah, it's great.
Seeing that we're currently experiencing drought back in South Africa, what can we do to sort of help the situation?
I'm not sure exactly what the causes are. I presume it's just low rainfall over the last year or so, is it? I think, there's sorts of things. Actually, South Africa that's quite unusual, isn't it? Because you do have a lot of big reservoirs. I think covered reservoirs is something as a long-term thing that could be part of the solution, because of course you lose a lot to evaporation, more so in South Africa than you do in a country like Britain, where you still get evaporation, but not at the same rate because we don't have the amount of sun that you have in South Africa. So that could be part of the solution. That's not going to solve the solution in 5 minutes, as in right now, but long term it could be part of the solution to avoid that happening again, because you don't get the water losses that you currently get. But you've got a lot of coast as well, so desalination is also an option for South Africa. For those of you who don't, is that the cost that it takes to produce put water in homes in London currently, the amount it would cost to do that via salination is about the same as it costs presently using the methods that they currently use. So that just puts it in perspective as it being a feasible option.
Would there be any way of properly implementing like a rainwater collection sort of thing? I know some people have them on the houses. I know something like that to use for showers and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Would there be an effective way you could do that?
That's a really good question, and actually Paul is the right person to ask that one, because it's the sort of thing he would be able to answer properly. So yeah, no, that's really good. I think rainwater harvesting has actually proved really effective in a lot of countries. It hasn't been widely used in this country, and why not? It's a good question.
Hello, I'm September Sky and I'm here at Newcastle University. I'm joined here with Paul Quinn, and he's going to speak to us about food and water security for the future. Hello Paul, can you just tell us what food and water security actually is?
Well, there's on an obvious level, we all need food and water. That's pretty obvious. But security means, where is the water in the future? Where is the land for producing food? What is the best and most sustainable way of producing food and water that will work for everybody? That's what security is.
Okay, and how long have you been studying it?
Well, I started more as a scientist, and then I became interested in water, and it's only as I've got older that I've realised that there's much more to do with politics, problem solving, and actually who is going to solve the problems. And I think as you become more informed, that you get more of a bigger picture of how things are going to be worked out, and not just your own little expertise.
So where are the problems mainly in the world?
Well, we often think that the future is the problem, but just about everything we might suffer in the future is occurring now. So if you look around the world and find out who is suffering from lack of water and who is suffering from lack of food or the wrong type of food, you'll see that you could look around and draw up a list of everybody who's suffering, and then you would say, well, how could we address our own problems now, as well as anticipating population growth and the world getting warmer and weather getting more extreme.
So what would you say is the first step that we need to do now to help improve the future?
Well, information's everything. So if we have a good, almost like inventory of what's happening, we'll see that all the technologies and all the ideas and plans are all there. The technologies exist. It's just that we have never deployed them on a global scale. So as the situation gets worse, we're not really staying still. We haven't even coped for health and where food is produced and why it's produced and who is doing it and who is actually responsible for the solution. So we haven't worked through them yet.
Okay, thank you. And hello, what's your name?
Hi, my name is Rafika. I'm from South Africa, actually. Currently in South Africa, we're facing some sort of a drought problem. There's a shortage of rain. Is there maybe any solution you could offer or speak about that I could maybe, from your expertise,
Ironically, if I was going to look to some countries of the world that have actually anticipated problems and try to do something about it, I'd say South Africa has actually tried that better than many other places. South Africa is one of the best water resource systems in the world. I'm sure people who don't have any clean drinking water would say that's ironic in South Africa. But certainly they've got excellent reservoirs and distribution systems. In terms of less water, we're all subject to more droughts. Okay, so when it does rain, we need to know what is the first thing that happens to that rain. Most of it goes straight back up in the air. Okay, so in South Africa, they've introduced something similar to an interception tax. So if you grow certain types of trees that just all the water evaporates, then you've lost your water. But however, if it gets into the ground, then it gets into the river, it gets into the groundwater. It's very, very simple, very hands-on, politically difficult to implement, but there are whole areas of South Africa where they've banned certain crops and certain types of farming. So there are some good examples from South Africa.
Okay, thank you. And hello, what's your name?
My name's James.
What questions have you got for Paul?
In the UK, would it be possible to effectively implement a rainwater collection system for power and, well, yes?
I would say that we already have a system for that. The rain falls on the land and it's collected about a penny a litre and it's sold back to us at 10 pence a litre. So there's a business in selling water to us. In terms of collecting our own rainwater, then I could only imagine that happening, like you could collect water on your house, okay? But if the university tried to collect its own water and put it into supply, we would be subject to more red tape as to the quality of that water that it would actually make it impossible for us to gather our own water. So there's red tape in the way. In terms of energy, you have to find suitable locations in the country. So if we could just get enough wires down from Scotland and Wales, we could have a lot of hydropower and wind power.
Thank you. Hello, what's your name?
My name is Bryony Roughton. I'm also from South Africa.
And what questions have you got for Paul?
How do you sleep at night? My big question is really knowing what you know and studying what you are studying. It's quite a concerning and distressing topic. And are there things from the last few years that have given you hope that we can actually change things in this world? So how do you sleep at night? Yeah, what gives you hope?
I sleep very easily at night, probably because I try and forget about what I've just been studying during the day. Okay. I also think that the information I've got in my head is also in your head. You know what the crisis is with food and water. It's not just me. I think everybody knows. I may have spend more time working with it and getting some more ideas out there. In terms of am I encouraged? Yeah, I think that the solutions are not that difficult. The technologies exist, and I'm actually very confident that we can solve the problems. However, I've got no confidence in the people who could implement those solutions.